Okay, we are live everywhere. This is amazing. This is our first official Coaches Corner. We're all here to provide tremendous value and amazing experience. I'm so blessed to be, speaking with each of you here. And this is going to be awesome because I know something very, very, very special is going to be shared here. And, there's just so much energy on this presentation that I know you will receive it immediately. So, just to kind of go around and introduce ourselves so everybody knows, I'm Jamel Matias. I'm a certified Proctor Gallagher consultant. I'm in Maryland, the DMV area, also known as DC, Maryland, Virginia, because they're very close together. So within minutes. And also, as you can tell, believe in the unseen. If you have anything that you want to achieve, anything you want to desire, any goals, which we're talking about today, you must believe in the unseen that you don't see yet. And that's all about faith. So I'll pass it on to my amazing colleague, Lou, if you don't mind.
Hi, welcome everyone. We are super excited to be here with you and share the knowledge that has actually changed our lives. So, my name is Lou Perica. I am a success mindset mentor. And what I do is I help people who really want to improve the quality of their life shift the way they think so they can be, do, and have better. We all deserve a wonderful life, and it's there for us. It's our birthright. So I am located on the eastern coast of the United States, originally from the Boston area, and I live both in Georgia and in Maine. So I'm very grateful to be here. Alicia?
Hi, everybody. My name is Alicia Espinosa, and I'm also a mindset coach. And I help people to create a life that feels good on the inside and not just look good from the outside. And I am in Sweden. I am originally from Panama and live in Sweden. And say hello. Yes, hello. Paul.
Thank you very much, Alicia, and I'm so happy to be here with my colleagues. I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. It's called the GTA, so the Greater Toronto Area. And I'm also a success and mindset mentor, a consultant with Proctor Gallagher. And I help improve the quality of people's lives using science and psychology to help them reach their most elusive personal and professional goals. So happy to be here, and I look forward to this amazing talk, and I'm sure you'll get a lot out of it. Thank you. Back to Jamel.
Thank you, Paul. This is amazing. I just realized this is a global experience. We're all in different places, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we all had different walks of life as well. And that's value in itself. So, yeah, I am so excited. And, today we're talking about something very, very important. It's very foundational, right? And we're talking about goals. We're going to talk about what's worthy goals, difference between emotional and logical, the right type of goals to choose, and also the importance of goals. We're going to touch on a lot of different things, but we're here to kind of share our experience, through this life transformational information, but also give you our personal stories, if you will, about how we see it. So let's start it off. First off, what does having a worthy goal mean to you? And how has setting a worthy goal impacted your growth personally or professionally? Who would like to kind of jump at that one first?
I'll go first. So, my understanding of having a worthy goal, this goal has to be something so important to me that I feel deeply passionate about, that I am willing to do whatever it takes, obviously, meaning as long as it's moral and ethical and falls within the natural laws. But it's worthy of my time, it's worthy of my focus, it's worthy of my energy, my persistence, my passion, my faith. It's worthy of all that I have to give to it. And what it does is give me this is my purpose. This is what I believe is my perfect purpose. And it gives me drive. It gives me the understanding why I'm waking up every day. Having a worthy goal has definitely given me direction. I think before, we can probably all agree, maybe we were a little scattered all over the place, just chasing different things. But this has definitely given me direction over the past several years.
Yeah. Anybody else want to, kind of chime in there on what's a worthy goal for you, or what was your experience discovering this?
Sure, I'll jump in there. I'm going to echo a little bit of what Lou says, but a worthy goal. I mean, most of us, most people, or most individuals, they're so locked into their mind is so locked into their limitations that they never really allow themselves to, get past that limitation, and they're remain stuck. You come out of school, you get a job, you have a degree, and you find a job that may or may not be related to that degree even. But a worthy goal is something that gets you excited in the morning to go out and get it. To really, for me, it was about, I know I have these talents and abilities inside myself, and I really want to bring that to the surface. I really want to, like, you know, not just to be, stuck in the mainstream and just, okay, get a job, get a paycheck every week or every 2 weeks, and blah blah blah, and life goes on, and my 2 week holidays. I just think there's something so much more to life, something so much more, maybe not to life, but so much more within me, that I want to bring to the surface, so that I can, my inherent nature, my spirit nature really wants, different things. I'm interested in, I'm curious, and I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to continually, educate myself, continually learn and learn about myself, and increase my awareness, and really go after the things that I really, really am passionate about and want to do, and not to let those things. So one day I don't want to look back and what if only. I really want to touch on those things and really want to, find out all those things that are deep inside me, and bring that out and express that, have that expressed outwardly.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I kind of connected what you said, where you said goals. I felt like there's more out of life, but goals are connected to life, right? So experiencing a higher version of ourselves and really doing something we've never done before, it's very fulfilling, especially when you're progressively moving towards it, right? So I totally really connected with that when you said there has to be something more out of life. And goals, a lot of people, well, we know most people allow goals just to stay in their head rather than writing them down and seeing them every day. There's a big difference between that. Um, that's a part of life. Goals, we know that they're meant for us to grow. It's not just the getting. The getting is the byproduct of it, right? And learning this, it helped me kind of understand being what worthy meant to me, because now it's an awakening. You realize that goals are meant for us to be more, do more, and have more. It's so connected to the expansion of life. Alicia, did you want to share a little bit? Sorry.
Yeah, when you say the worthy goal or worthy ideal, so I remember a time when I was chasing the next step in my career, in my everything in life. And then I realized that I was chasing the wrong goals because, my goals were based on what my culture or the society, what we call the memetics goal, when we see that person have that thing, oh, maybe I should go there also, or that got this promotion, or maybe I need to go there also. So when I started to think about what is important to me, what are my values, and then I decided that, oh, I am chasing the wrong, it's like you need to climb a mountain, and I was climbing the wrong mountain. So when I started to think about what is important to me, what are my values, what is that thing that get my heart sing, then I started to understand that I was chasing and climbing the wrong mountain. So for me, it's like, and it's what Lou says, that okay, the goal need to be worthy you, your time, your sacrifices, your money, all your resources. And because also the life is like is, I don't know what is in English,
Roller
like
coaster.
roller coaster. Yeah. So you need to be very connected to them in order to know that when you are down, is the goal that you are will put you up. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm. Yeah, I never heard anybody putting it that way. Climbing the wrong mountain.
The wrong mountain. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And then realizing while you're climbing, I want to go on that mountain.
But I saw Paul's background. I said, "Oh my gosh, I am climbing the wrong mountain there." You
Ah,
he will create sweating. Or I normally talk about that, but it's like, oh, the wrong mountain we are climbing.
yeah. And speaking of worthy, I was really thinking about that word worthy. Some viewers may think, how do I know if it's worthy for me? Right. And all of us, we're all unique. We're very special. And we have different things that we desire. So for those that are watching, you have to kind of ask yourself these questions and go deep inside. What do I really want more than anything? Maybe really get clear in your mind about maybe some things you wanted in the past, but you never really went after them, and or you were too scared. You didn't know how it's going to happen. But if you truly desired that change or whatever attribute, it could be something tangible or intangible, monetary, whatever you desire, is it worthy of me? Is this where I want to go in my life? We're close to the end of the year. This is a great question to ask, right? Right into 2025. What do I want for 2025? Right? So what is worthy of the essence of what you want to be? It's so, so powerful when you stop to really look inside, and this gives you that direction, right? That direction where you're headed. That is such a powerful, question to ask oneself. So,
I'm sorry. I just want to share. It was a complete stranger to me at the time who asked me, "What do you want?" And I said, "What?" He said, "What do you want?" And I knew at that moment, excuse me, at that moment, I had been sleepwalking the majority of my life because I never asked myself that question. First of all, I was on this hamster wheel, right? Just go, 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 do. Who had time? Who had time? But I knew I had that feeling in me. There's something more, there's something more. But I didn't take time. I didn't take time for myself to stop, get off the hamster wheel, reflect on that question. It was just go, go, go. And the thought that, so it was Bob that asked me that question. And I realized, my goodness, it had to take a stranger for me to wake up. And I was so grateful at that moment. I realized, I've got to get my thoughts, my act together, so to speak, even though I was living a good life by most standards. But I realized I really didn't have direction. I was going up different mountains, like Alicia was saying, because that's where everyone was going. And I wasn't addressing that feeling within me. And this is what I think what I've chosen to do is the seed that this is my spiritual assignment. I felt so connected to becoming a mentor, a teacher, that this is what I've dedicated my life to. All of us have dedicated our life to. And that's what makes it a worthy goal. You are dedicating your life to it. And it gives your life purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
that's a great point that Lou just made, and Jamal made a point earlier that we're coming to the end of the year, and so Bob Proctor, who is our mentor, he said once he said he quoted a line on a Richard Bach's book, which is simply entitled "One," and he said he asked this question. I gave my life to become the person I am right now. And then he asked, was it worth it? So a year from now, because we're getting into the new year, the new calendar year, and a year from now, we might be in a completely different place. A lot of different things will have changed, or we'll be in exactly the same place. But either way, we'll have paid a year of our life for it. You'll have paid a year of your life for where you're going to be at this time next year. So you have to decide, what it is you really want, or do you just want to, as I would say, fritter away your life and just keep doing the same old thing. And it's a known fact that 85% of the people, and you see all these people commuting to work and all that stuff, 85% of the people are going to jobs they don't even like.
Mm.
And that is not worthy of you. That's not worthy of you. Like, why aren't you following your passion? And people are afraid. They're afraid to step out, right? And because they have these limiting beliefs that this is all you can do, or this is what you should be doing, or what Alicia said, she was climbing the wrong mountain, probably because maybe you're in an environment where you're said, okay, go to school, get a degree, get a job, blah, blah, blah. Hey, that's a good wage. That's, kind of where you should be. And, you'll get your 2 weeks holidays and you get a regular paycheck and you'll have a pretty good life. But you won't be living the life that's really expressing the type of person that you are. It's not, bringing out your individuality and all those skills and those dreams you have. And, I've heard like Les Brown says it so well, the richest place in the cemetery, or the richest place in town, is the cemetery, right? Because that's where all the dreams and all the goals and everything is buried.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so powerful, Paul. You have my wheels turning as you're mentioning that, because I remember it reminds me of the law of vacuum. You have to remove things of a lower nature to make room for things of a higher nature.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you're shifting yourself. And I was thinking about that image, that video, where, you just look at people walking down the street. A lot of them don't know where they're going. They're just going, right?
Mhm.
And Earl Nightingale shared a lot about the, what law was that? The law of mass consciousness, basically following the follower, right?
Mhm.
So I think that was level
2.
2, right?
Level
And it's
2.
only right above the
Animalistic. Yeah.
right? So most people are operating above an animalistic awareness, and that's scary, right? But this is a great, call to kind of enlighten and bring some insight on, what we kind of experienced and how we are on the other side having this type of clarity. So it reminded me a lot of law of vacuum. Bob always says, your life is full. Everybody's life is full. Time, whatever, right? Whatever we do at our time. But what are you making room for something else that will help you get towards your goal? This is why goals are so important, because are you making a space for your full life, whether it's Netflix or whatever you do at your time, right? Towards the new version of you. So it had my wheels turning, Paul. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I came. The reason I started to set goals, it was before I met Bob, but it was because I call me the recovery yaw sayer, I was saying yes to everybody
Uh-huh.
and not setting boundaries. And that created, it was not so good for me because I was always fixing at other people and they were taking advantage of me. So one day I was so tired of that. Then I started to set goals, what I want. And then I started to say no. And it was like the first time I say no to a person, it was like, oh my God, eh, I wanted the universe to strike me from life because it was it was so overwhelming to say no to a person that I was always saying yes, yes, yes. And now in my calendar, because I am recovery and sometimes I say yes without even thinking, is because it's my paradigm. I have in my calendar, I have a paper calendar and I put no. And it's not to say no to people, but it's to think why I'm saying yes. And is this according to my goals or not? And if I have the time, I say yes from my heart, but not yes because I want to be liked.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm so glad you said that, Alicia, because that's what a worthy goal
Yeah,
does. It gives you clarity on what is important to you.
yeah,
So, as we all know, there's a lot of noise, there's social media, friends, family, there's a lot of things out in our external world that are pulling at our attention, always trying to grab our attention. Our attention and our focus is actually being stolen right out from underneath our nose, right? But having a goal helps me, just like you said, Alicia, to define and to decide what is important. If I say yes to this, will this help me towards my goal, achieve my goal? Is it worth my time, my energy, my effort? So this having the worthy goal definitely gives you more clarity on what to say yes to. And I want to make sure it's a hell yes,
yeah,
right? And what to say no thank you to. No, not right now, perhaps another time, but this idea or whatever's going to take my attention right now is a hell yes for me. So I'm
yeah,
glad you mentioned that.
yeah. When I say yes, even if it's not from get me help to get my goal, but when I say yes, it is from my heart.
Mhm.
I don't have this like, oh, should say no because, but when I say yes, it's because it's coming from my heart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that reminds me a lot of becoming the version of you that already has the goal,
Yeah.
right? So every time you're in a situation where you're about to do something, you ask yourself, would this version of me do this? Like,
Yeah.
does this add to where I'm going? So it's a rearrangement, right, of thinking. Really good. Yeah. So here's a powerful question to kind of get things continued here. How do you differentiate between an emotional goal and a logical goal? So can anyone here share an example of how this distinction has influenced the way you set goals?
I can do that. For me, if my goal or when my goal is aligned with my values, is because our values is something that is important to us and is the like and is the way we are more uh, we are more connected to our motivation. When the goal for me is aligned with my values, then it's more emotional connected than if I just put a goal. So I am very, very clear which values do I have. And when I set the goals, I think, okay, is is this goal in alignment with my values? Because we all have different way of see the world. I have this, normally I have this, we have different frames for how we see the world. And if I'm setting, if my frame how I see the world is like this, but I am setting goals that is like this, then I will struggle to get inspiration to go after my goals. But when it's according to my values, then I don't need to do, because I will be inspired all the time.
Yeah,
Okay.
such a good point, Alicia, right? I mean, we have to get emotionally involved with your goal, right? If you're not emotional about your goal, you're just not going to do it. You're just not going to do it for well. You'll be interested, but if you're interested, you'll do it sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you're committed, you'll do it. And it's easy to become, or it's easier to become committed to that goal when you're really emotionally involved with your goal. Like if you're really passionate about something, I mean, if you had to go on a trip tomorrow morning, boom, you wouldn't hit the snooze alarm. Or I know for me anyways, like I like, maybe I like to hit the snooze alarm, but if I have to go somewhere, I'm doing something exciting, boom, I get up. There's no, I don't have to worry about, dragging my butt out of bed or anything like that. So you really have to find it out what it is you're really passionate about. And there's a good quote. I don't know who to attribute it to. It said, decide what kind of life you really want, and then say no to everything else that isn't that. Because if you're doing something that you don't really like, you're not going to do it really, really well. So why do it? Why put yourself in that position? Find the thing that you're really passionate about, that really you can really stirs up your emotions, that you will be excited to do it, and you're going to give your all. You will give your all automatically, and you will overcome those obstacles and barriers that come in front of you, because darn it, you're gonna go through. You want that thing, you want it, and you just, and that, when a challenge comes up, you won't let it slide. You won't let that challenge or that obstacle stop you. You're gonna go through it. You're gonna go through it. You're gonna go around it. You're gonna go under it. You're gonna go over it. But you're gonna get there. So, but you need your emotion and passion to really fuel you. So that's really, really important.
Yeah. Well said, Paul. Well said. It reminds me of you have to be totally illogical, right? Get out of your logical mind, because that's the conditioning. You have to get totally emotionally involved with what you really want. And that emotion obviously impresses the subconscious mind, and it sets your body in a vibration. You get out of bed ready to go, take the day on by the horns, right? You're excited, you're driven. This is why goals are so important, because you have a direction. When in the reading, they said, without having a clearly defined goal, you're like a ship without rudders, being tossed by the wind and the current, or being the plaything for outside sources, right? So knowing where you're going and being emotionally involved with it, you become an extreme force, for your life, what you're creating. And when he said, be totally illogical, logic, we want to make sense out of everything, right? This is okay. How long? And, let's organize it in this step. And, Bob talked about 3 types of goals. There's A-type goals we already know how to do. B-type goals that we think we can do. There's the logic. That's our logical mind trying to make sense of everything. But C-type goals that we really want, that scare the crap out of us, but also excite us at the same time. So aim for those C-type goals and look around you, look at the webcams, our computers, look around, you see emotional goals all the time. I think about the Wright brothers when they were flying the airplanes. That's illogical at the time. People thought they were nuts. And there's so many more, like the iPhone, a phone you could touch, and, the satellites they made. There's so many things that you can look at in life, because it was totally illogical, but they had a desire to do it. I don't care what you're saying to me. This is what I'm going to create for my life and for the world. And without that type of energy or clarity, order of the mind, right? Without that, a lot of things wouldn't be in our present state, right? So they had to face the opposition of the outside world, other people's opinions, even their own logic, right? I can't believe I'm doing this. This is going to cost billions of dollars. I'm still going to do it, right? And the Wright brothers, what were they? Bicycle mechanics. Right?
Yeah.
Learning to put a plane a couple tons heavy in the air.
Their father said they were going to burn in hell.
Exactly, because he was an ordained bishop. Yeah.
I want to.
Go ahead, Lou. Yeah.
I want to share an example. Paul's familiar with this example that I use. So when I was in real estate, every year I would make logical goals. It was the same logical goal year after year. And it's almost like chewing the flavor out of chewing gum. It's just like, okay, I'm going to increase my sales 10, 20%. Okay. But I wasn't emotionally connected to it. And every time I made that goal ended up at the corner of my desk. But what I like to use this example, emotional goal, I think many of us can identify with, getting your driver's license. Now, the license is just the measurement of you growing into a driver. It's not the license per se, but the license represents how much you've grown. So when you are younger, you're 16 years old, thereabouts, you're so emotionally connected to the thought and the feelings of you starting to break away from your parents. You're becoming independent. You want that freedom. The thought of going to pick up your friends and going of going to the shopping mall and just having the keys in your hand. You remember like being able to swing keys in your hand when you first got your driver's license, being able to go, if your parents let you borrow the car, that feeling. And that feeling, even though your friends, maybe you're doing driver's ed, your friends are saying, hey, come on, come over to my house and watch a movie. And you say, no, I have driver's ed today, even though you want to go to your friends. But the desire for that freedom and independence is so strong that you're willing to say no to your friends, not now, because you know that the reward is so much greater. And again, it's not the license per se, it's the feeling of freedom. It's the feeling of independence, right? It's the feeling of achievement. That's what really goals are about, because it's really never about the money. It's the money you think is going to give you more freedom. It's going to give you the ability to travel or to say yes to more things that you desire. Right? So the goal is really always about the feeling. And the feeling is that vibration that gets the body moving, get it to do what it needs to do. And that's why how I typically describe the difference between a logical and emotional goal. Because I know for me, getting my license was, right? Being able to take a car, maybe get a job, start earning money. That was huge. But it was all about the feeling of freedom and independence.
I love that story. I love that.
Yeah.
How was it when you got that freedom? When you first drove off by yourself?
Well, I won't. I smashed my mother's car. I got in an accident. But that's another story. I told my mother that a bus hit the car while I was parked. But because when I think about it, the first time you took the car out by yourself, that feeling like, ooh, like it was amazing. Now we're like, yeah, I got to drive this one here. I got to drive that one there. But at the beginning, that feeling when you first got behind the wheel, you were able to put on the radio. You would just drive around in circles because you just enjoyed that feeling of being a driver. But that license said, yep, she knows how to stop at a stop sign. She knows how to parallel park. She did this. She passed that. So the license just represents who I became, and I became a driver.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Yeah.
That's good. Very good.
Yeah. You had an emotional goal and you went
yeah,
after it.
I
Yeah.
went after it, sure. Even, I mean, I was afraid of going over a curb. I was afraid I was going in the wrong lane, swerving, right? I was afraid to parallel. Oh my gosh, I was afraid, like most of us are nervous, maybe, to do those things. But we knew we had to do them in order to get that license, right? So
Yeah.
we overcame those challenges, because a challenge is just saying, this is your opportunity to grow.
Mhm.
There's a
That's right.
challenge. It's not
Yeah.
a problem. It's an opportunity for you to grow. For you to grow, you need to practice how to do parallel parking.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. For anybody watching and listening and catching the replays, usually, well, 9 times out of 10, the person you're seeking to be is on the opposite side of fear. So
Yeah.
you would have to kind of go through these things you're afraid of, which is false because it's false events appearing real. You're only making it real in your mind, right? So you're going towards the fear and going through it to the version that you are becoming. You're shedding your old self, essentially, right? Was there anybody else had a nice emotional goal that they like to share, like a personal story?
Yeah, I can share. I last year, when I was writing my goals for this year, I have in my bucket list to do a TEDx, and I decided, oh, I'm going to do that. But the fear was attacking me all the time, because this, it is in English and you need to do this and this. But I decided that, okay, I'm going to do that. And it was very important that it was connected to my values of sharing and giving, because I wanted to, or I want to give my knowledge to other people, and use what I know to help people. So I set my goals, and I started to do what I need to do. And it's that, when I started to do the applications, at the beginning was like, oh my gosh, I have done 15 application, I haven't get any answer. But because it was so important to me, I continue. And every day I wake up, the first I did was to send 2 or 3 applications every day. And the next day was like, if it was null, zero, that I haven't sent. So I continue. And after 135 applications, I got 6 no and 1 yes. And that was so. But the emotions that was connected to that goal was very high. So I continued to do the application all the time. So it was very important to me to do that. And in April, I did that. To remember it, I put the goal in November, December there, at the end of November. And then in April, I got the opportunity to do my TEDx.
Can
So,
anyone, can we watch that TEDx talk, Alicia?
yeah, if you search for my name and TEDx, it will come up.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's a great experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Alicia. That was amazing. Yeah. All right. So let's what role does focus play? We kind of talked about it, in achieving goals. And how do you personally maintain focus amidst life's distractions? Anybody want to jump at that one?
Well, that's a interesting one, and because there are a lot of distractions and there's a lot of things pulling us in different directions. And Alicia spoke about it earlier when she's talking about climbing the wrong mountain, and because we get doing things that other people want us to do. maybe our partner, maybe our family, maybe our parents want us to do something, or the distractions of, struggling right now with finances or something like that. And I have to keep going. And people are just, afraid to step out, right? It's one thing about, setting a worthy goal is your belief, and the belief that you can do it, the belief that you can be that person, because you can say, okay, I want to do such and such, but inside in our subconscious, we don't really believe it. It feels like a lie. And so there's that internal conflict, right? So we really have to believe. So it's not seeing is believing. Bob always said believing is seeing. And so we have to see and start to become and act like the person that we want to become. We have to be that person. And Jamel mentioned it as well. You have to act like that person. You have to start acting. So it's not just about, okay, I'm going to write an affirmation that I'm doing this because, an affirmation, or, someone was really upset with me once. They said, oh, I've tried, the positive thinking and it doesn't work. Well, it's because it's a half truth. You can think positively, but if you're not, your actions aren't in harmony with what it is, you're doing, right? With what it is you want to do. And so you can say one thing, but you have to start acting like that. And you really have to, you have to step out, and it's to take that first step can always be, is generally the hardest thing, but you just have to step out and really, yeah, you're going to fall down. You're going to fall down, but you're going to get back up, right? A baby's learning to walk. The baby falls down. It's a baby. And you tell the baby to get up and keep going. It's a baby, and it's bumping, and it's falling down, and it's hitting its head, and it's crying, and might hurt itself, but you encourage that baby to keep going. And then, as adults, we kind of prevent ourselves from falling down. We don't want to fail, that fear of failure, the fear of what other people are going to say. And so you just have to overcome that and just, keep taking those steps. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's a little bit easier, but, you gain a little momentum, and you just have to really decide that you're going to take some actionable steps each day and decide what those steps are going to be. And then you just have to really follow through and make that commitment to yourself. So at the end of the day, you can look in the mirror and say you're happy with what you did today for yourself, not what someone else wanted, but what you wanted for yourself, to be true to yourself.
Yeah. True to your higher self too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
True to yourself.
Yeah, I love that. Staying focused towards a goal is so essential. I was thinking, what I like to do, meditation helps me a lot. So I'm a big, advocate for meditation to get clarity on where I'm going every day. And I actually visit my goal at least twice a day. But we know a good method. Look at intuition. Goal cards, right? Goal cards. So this will be a great screenshot. Everybody hold them up. But there you go. Hold it in front of you, Paul. There you go. So
I have mine there.
okay, Alicia got hers.
Never mind.
Basically, this is direction that all of us have every day, everywhere we're going. When we open our eyes and we close our eyes. So we can always look at it and read our goal card, meaning we're getting connected to this energy and also giving us direction of where we're going. So that's one technique that you can use. Before I do any activities, I'll write my goal down. My goal and my why is kind of connected. So why am I doing this? Right. And it realigns me on the reason why. And I also ask Spirit for guidance every day. So I'll say, Spirit, guide my hand, guide my voice, guide my words to the better version that I'm meant to be. And then I go into activity. And I probably do that, multiple times, because distractions, right? They'll try their hardest to pull you away from what you're becoming. It'll something in family might happen, something monetarily, health wise. We have all these things trying to pull us in every way. But if you're not focused on where you're going and why you're doing it, you're kind of, doing yourself a disservice. Lou, are you going to share something there?
Yes. So as we get into these calls on Sundays, it'll become clearer how vital it is to really understand your truth. Today, we're starting off with goals, but again, as we go deeper into this, the more you understand you, the more you understand the gifts, the blessings, the powers that are yours to utilize to create, the more all of this will make sense to you. But I always tell my clients, our job or your job is to focus on the what and the why. The universe's job is the how and the when. So we just need to focus on the what and the why. Why is it important? But what I do and what I have clients do is write down anywhere from 1 to 6, since we're talking about goals, goal achieving activities. Do it the night before, because this will help you sleep better. And if you do it the night before, you don't know what kind of ideas you'll get during your sleep. But do it the night before, 1 to 6, and prioritize them by putting them in order of by priority. There is no better system to get something done, because if you focus on number 1 first and do nothing else, if you don't get to number 2, 3, 4, 5, that's okay. You got to the most important thing that you needed to do. This helps you stay focused, because if you couldn't get to number 1 by this system, you wouldn't have gotten to it any other way. This is the best system. We learned this one, Lead the Field program, right? And what I do is focus sprints. So in the morning, I have my morning routine, my meditation, my visualization, my goal writing, my gratitude, my exercise. Then after all of that, I get into action mode. So I have focus sprints. I break them down into 30 minutes. I may just have 3 of them a day. It depends. But I know in those focus sprints, everything's getting shut off. I listen to no one, nothing. I put on some soft music, maybe classical music, and get to that first thing first. I get it done. But sometimes you don't get it all done in one day, depending on how big it is. But you have taken a big chunk out of that, the main thing you were to do that day. That's being able to focus your attention on what's important to you. This is why a goal needs to be worthy, right? Worthy of your time. So that's how I do it. And I set alarms on my phone that go off every 3 hours, where I listen, because I've recorded my goal and my affirmations and a little bit of my self-image. I recite that, I listen to it, I feel it, because we all know it's all about the feeling, right? So I feel it and I take action. So that's how I stay focused.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Jamel.
No, please, Alicia, go ahead.
Yeah. So for me, it's also almost the same procedure that Lou. What I want to share is that when your goals is not aligned with your values, then it's more easy to get distracted.
Mm-hmm.
And also sometimes your values will have a fight, because, for example, if you have a goals that you want to create something, your value is creativity, but you also value to be liked from other people, that they like you, or to be part of a community or something there. The fear of not being liked will make you procrastinate or lose your focus in creation, because the need of being liked is higher than the need of creation. So it's why we need to be very, very clear. Are my values helping me or are not helping me? For example, also, if you have a control need of control, it's also maybe you don't go outside your comfort zone because you don't have control on what happened there. And your goals is you need always need to, if you are going to have a type goal, as Jamal say, you need to go outside your comfort zone. But if you have a control need of control, it will be difficult for you to go outside your comfort zone, and you will procrastinate because the need of staying safe is higher than the need to create something.
Oh, yeah.
So
And
uh,
the
uh,
fear of failure, the fear of what
yeah,
people will
yeah,
say,
yeah,
the fear
it
of people
is.
not liking me, the
Yeah,
fear of people laughing at me. Absolutely. That was
yeah. So we
awesome.
have I call it competing needs.
Yeah.
They compete. I need to create because I want that, but I need also to be safe.
Mm.
Like you will not do what you need to
Conflict,
do to
confusion.
reach your goal. Yeah.
It,
And if you feel like, oh, I must do this, or I should do this,
Mm.
then I say like, okay, this is a little clue that your goals are not aligning with your values. And I normally say in before I finish here, I wrote here because I normally say to myself, be in love with your goals,
Mhm.
marry the process, divorce the results, don't have a loving affair with your fear. That is what I mean.
wow.
Very good.
That's really deep. I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm gonna rewind it and watch that. That was good. I like that.
yeah.
Um, what I like to share with clients and people I help with getting direction with their goals. It's so important because it having a goal shapes your tomorrow. It shapes your future. So what I like to do is tap into that higher mental faculty, the imagination, right? And all of us here got here by imagination, right? So it's so important to tap into that energy. And Bob always shares everything is created twice, first in the unseen and then in the seen, right? So what I like to share for people is to have fun just writing down everything you want. Get a clean sheet of paper and write it down. Don't put it in your phone. There's different energy when you write it. And write, okay, I want this. Oh, that'll be great. I would love that. I oh yeah, I always wanted that. Just let out the ideas flow out of you because this is you getting emotionally involved with the direction of where you want to go in your life. So just write them all down, and this helps get them out of your mind, because a lot of times when we keep them in our mind, we'll forget about them, or we'll see something else that we want, or whatever, right? So this is putting it on a physical plane, but also then you have to kind of categorize them, like I mentioned before, the ABCs of goals. This is giving you that clear direction on where to go. And we're talking about our journeys, in different aspects of goal setting, but this is a very foundational exercise to give yourself some clarity, which is so important. Without clarity, you have the dirtiest mind ever, and it's dust and stacks of books or whatever. Right? You want to clear it and know where you're going in life, because this is your life, your time. Make the best of it, right? Was there anything anybody want to share about goals here, or what you've got out of this experience you want to share to the audience before we kind of wrap up towards the end here?
Yeah, I'll just touch a little bit something that Alicia said that tweaked something. So often, people will take the known way, the known path, because it's more comforting and it's less challenging. But it's seldom, it's never more rewarding. And so it's just the same old, and you're in the same place, and you look back and you think about the what ifs and if only and all that sort of thing. So, you really have to, because it's fear. There's a fear that's stopping us. We don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't, we're afraid of messing up or failure. But you really have to picture what good. You have to imagine the possibility of the good that is beyond that comfort zone. Like Bob said, stop being so afraid of what could go wrong, but get really excited about what could go right.
Mm.
Absolutely. Yeah. Fear and faith, they're both unseen, right? Which are you going to put more energy into?
Mm.
We always have that choice. Yeah. I love that. And the fear is your old self trying to hold on to what's comfortable, right? And don't change, Paul. Don't do it. Don't do it, Lou. It's better over here. But the faith, the higher version of us wants to break away from this because you want change. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired, right? You want some type of growth. You want more money, a better lifestyle, travel. It doesn't matter what you desire. It's unique to you. And we'll always have this conflict because once you hit a higher level and you see that you can go higher, right? And that's meant for, it's natural. We want to grow like beautiful flowers, right? Like trees or whatever. So, yeah, this has been great. This is our first of many. We'll be doing this every Sunday, at 10 a.m. Eastern. And Alicia, I'm not sure what time 10 a.m. is.
It's 4 p.m. Central European time.
Okay. And Paul? Time?
I mean, time. Yeah.
Oh, we're same time?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And as you can tell, it's a global, call here. And, we're just scratching the surface here, right? This is just surface of what the power of choosing the right type of goals for yourself. This is just scratching the surface. And of course, you want to get in contact with either of us, any of us. We have our call links in the description, of this post. If not, you see our names and you can message us. We want to help you with this beautiful material. And we been through life experience as well, where we're applying this to ourselves and affecting other people. And it's a wonderful journey. But why wait? Why wait? What does the paradigm like to do? Likes to hold us back.
Resist. Yeah. Does not like change.
Right. And what comes to mind is you can decide what journey you have been taking based on two things: your calendar and what you invest in, right? So if you look at your calendar, what are you doing with your time? Our most valuable asset. Are you wasting the time, or are you putting in time to improve yourself and your results? Obviously money. Are you spending money on, things that give you temporary satisfaction, or something of a long-term, true value to yourself, right? So really think about that. And yeah, we're just, this is the tip of the iceberg, because we can go very deep about goals and the essence of them. Was there anything else, anybody would like to share at the end here? This has been great. I'm really grateful to be, with each of you.
I wrote this down this morning because it came through me. It's super quick. It says, our purpose is to grow and create an experience, to serve one another, to co-create with one another, using the divine intelligence as a guide. So it's all about experiencing the journey. This is your journey. Create the journey that you want to experience. We all have the potential to be, do, and have the life that we truly desire. We just need to get out of our own way. And we do that really with mentorship, right? I needed to have a mentor whose awareness was greater than mine, whose perspective was greater than mine, who believed in me because I, at the time, did not believe in myself. So I hope this brought more awareness to all our viewers. And I'm so grateful to be here. And I appreciate everyone here and all the viewers. And I hope you tune in next week as well.
Yes. Next week, same time, same place. And again, our call links are in the description. You want to speak to us one-on-one. This is you taking action, right? Take action out of the discomfort. Be uncomfortable. That's where your growth is. Paul, did you want to share anything, or Alicia?
Yeah, I wanted to say that make sure you are climbing the right mountain. And because it's worth at reflect what is the reflection of where I'm doing, what I'm climbing here. So it's what I want to share.
Yeah, that's good. I'm so happy and grateful to be here. And like Jamel said, we're just scratching the surface. It's just like not even the jacket cover of a book. And to open up your mind to the possibilities of the life that you really want to have, and that you deserve and desire, because it is your birthright. And so come with an open mind and an open heart, and follow your passion. And there was some great tips on start by taking actionable steps, and write down what it is you really, really want, what would make you happy, and don't worry about the how.
I love it. All right. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Catch the replay if you missed it. And, hopefully this value helped you prioritize your life, because the time is always now. The present is the present. So we'll see you next time, next Sunday, right, everybody?
Yep.
Right.
I'll be there.
All right.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys.